Good afternoon. Actually, it's still morning. Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with this beautiful, amazing group of warm people, most of whom I have not met. We've had such a great reception, and we just want to thank Almighty God, and thank you for your warm reception of the campaign for Rick Scott. My name is Jim Jimenez. I'm an attorney in Central Florida. I'm part of the Puerto Rican coalition for Rick Scott. So, we're here to inaugurate the Ecuadorian. And there's a reason. Hispanics, Rick Scott believes in us, and we believe in him. And we believe in him because he's not from where we're from, but he shares our values. He shares our courage. And he said, there's something else I know that my senator believes, that Hispanics have a responsibility to unite and to save this country. The time for division is over. We come from different places, different bloodlines, different backgrounds, but we don't want our country to turn into the country that we fled from. That's the reason that I support Rick Scott, even though I lost my speech right now. I also want to welcome you on behalf of Josue Sanchez, who is the kindest man. We were able to contact him through our office, and he said yes in a heartbeat. And part of the reason he said yes is because he happens to share the values of Rick Scott. He believes in faith, he believes in family, he believes in community, because when those structures, those mediating structures, are attacked by the left-wing socialists that this country is beginning to see too much of, division, family breakdown happens, corruption in our streets, open borders, indoctrination, invasion, inflation. So we need Rick Scott to be reelected because he was a fantastic former governor, one of the best that we've had in Florida. He is a fantastic family man. He is a quiet but effective chief executive and leader. And we need not only for him to win, we need for him to win big. Because Florida, Rick Scott may have left Florida after he left the governorship, but Florida never left his heart. And that's why we are here to support the next senator of the United States, Rick Scott.
You know, the first thing anybody that runs for office is the first thing you do is you appreciate everybody that shows up. You know, when you first start running for office, you're wondering, is anybody going to show up? And so you're very appreciative that people show up. You get to tell what you believe in, and then you get to try to make it happen. I want to thank everybody here because you gave me the opportunity to be your governor for 8 years, and you've given me the opportunity to be your senator for 5 years, and I'm up for re-election. So I'm appreciative of everybody here's support. Let me just recognize some people. Jimmy, thank you. You know what? The easiest thing in life is not to show up, right? The easiest thing in life is don't stick your neck out. But guess what? If you don't stick your neck out, here's what's going to happen. We're going to lose this country. Look all over Latin America. You look at wonderful people that have lost their opportunity because they didn't stick their neck out, or not enough of them did, or for a lot of reasons. Like think about the people that have been left in Cuba. There's no opportunity. Or Venezuela, or Nicaragua. But it could happen everywhere. I just had the opportunity to go to Ecuador in November, meet with the outgoing president, and meet with the new president. And it's a beautiful country with wonderful people. And if it was my family, I never want my family to leave, right? And our blessed we have grandkids. I want them to live right next door. I'm not sure my daughter thinks that way, but think about it. People have had to leave for opportunity, and it's not fair at all. But let me just recognize a few people here. First off, every election is important. Every job is important. The governor's job is important. The senator's job is important. The president's job is important. But if you want good government, you need to get involved in all levels of government. You've got local races going on right now. You're going to have a sheriff for the first time. in a long time. Get involved in that race. You've got local mayor's race. You've got other races going on. Be involved in all these races, and guess what? You're going to get better government. Don't just focus on the presidential race or a state senate race, or federal senate race or a state senate race. Focus on all the elections. If you do, we'll get better government. So some of the individuals I've had the opportunity to work with. First, let's recognize State Senator Liliana Garcia. Thank you for being here. State Rep Alina Garcia is here. And some of these individuals have elections this year, and their elections are important.
Yes.
So make sure they win.
Yes.
Next, we have State Representative Fabian Basabi. We have Miami-Dade County Commissioner Kevin Cabrera here. Councilman Rafael Benoyo. Dario Fernandez here. We've got the Council General of Ecuador. The Council Generals are important. Leticia Becerril. Guzman. So we've got, and I want to recognize Nosca. So Nosca's been a friend since I started running back in April 9th of 2019 or 2010, and she allowed me to come on her radio show and talk about what I believed in. And she was always gracious to me and to my family. So thank you for being here. I want to recognize Claudia Quinn. Claudia's always trying to make sure we were able to get our voices out and worked really hard. He continues to work hard to make sure all of us have everybody here has a voice, right? And we get to tell our story. And we should not be separated because somebody wants to control assets and not allow us to tell our story. So Claudia, thank you for all your help. And some of the others will wait because they're going to be speaking. So I'll do my Spanish and some more English. Buenos días, es un placer estar aquí hoy. Quiero dar las gracias a Joshua Sanchez, dueño de la Pata Gorda. I hope everybody stops and gets something to eat. I'm getting ceviche, so I heard that the ceviche is really good. So I hope everybody gets it. Y a todo su equipo por su apoyo y recibirnos aquí hoy. Hoy es un día muy emocionante. Es un honor para mí presentar la coalición Ecuadorians for Rick Scott. Formada por este increíble grupo de líderes de negocios y de la comunidad. Gracias por todo su apoyo. By the way, I said this at the South Florida Hispanic Chamber. Do you guys realize what all this group has done for starting in Miami, but all across the state? The energy you have brought to this state, the energy, starting with a lot of people came from Cuba in, I guess, the early 60s, even late 50s. But you've completely changed the state, and as a result, you've changed the country. The energy that you have as a result of the Hispanic community, and it doesn't matter whether you're Ecuadorian or whether you're Cuban or Nicaraguan or Venezuelan, the energy you have brought to make change. And like what Jimmy said, you have the opportunity, and I hope you'll feel the obligation to say, if you want a country that is the country that you want to come to, then you got to go make it happen. My mom told me, I had a wonderful mom. She told me that everything was my responsibility. We grew up in public housing. My mom had no money. But she said there was no limitation what you do, but you got to go make it happen. So what I'd ask everybody here, you can make it happen. Our country's heading down the wrong path, right? There's a lot of bad things happening in our country right now. But we can change this, and we can change it, and this group can do it. A group starts with one person, but you all can do it, and so I hope everybody will. If there's anything I can do, I've got a great team. If there's anything I can do, I will do it. También quiero dar las gracias a algunos de los líderes de las coaliciones de Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Cuba y Nicaragua que están con nosotros hoy. Gracias a todos por su apoyo y sus grandes contribuciones a nuestro Estado y nuestro país. Debemos actuar ahora para que el socialismo no llegue aquí. Pero es claro cuál es la posición de Joe Biden y de mi oponente. El apaciguamiento de Joe Biden con los dictadores está poniendo en peligro de los Estados Unidos y todas nuestras familias. Y todos aquí sabemos que durante el corto tiempo que mi oponente estuvo en el Congreso, en lugar de defender la libertad y la democracia en América Latina, ella se hizo amiga de la izquierda radical y los socialistas de su partido. Dime, que con quién andas y te diré tenemos la gran responsabilidad de elegir líderes que realmente representan los valores que defendemos. Con tu ayuda, seguiremos luchando juntos por la comunidad hispana en el Estado del Sur y por la libertad y Latinoamérica y el mundo.
Qué bien.
So here's where we are. We have got to start winning elections. We've got to start winning elections with people that want to fight for this country. Okay? This is going to be a fight. One, we have to defend the United States. And then what we have to do is we have to elect people that say we're going to focus on how do we help the people fight for their liberty in Cuba and Venezuela and Nicaragua and everywhere. And make sure we continue it in Colombia and Ecuador, in Argentina and places like that. If we don't do it, who will? Right? We're blessed. We're blessed. We are here. We're blessed that we're here. Are we going to be the ones that we're going to be known for fighting and making sure that everybody continues to have the opportunity? When, you always think about at the end of your time, whatever it is, in office or whatever, are you going to be the one that they can say, well, you made a big difference? All of us can make the big difference. We can tell our stories. Everybody here has a story of themselves or their family or a friend of how they had to fight against socialism. We need to tell that story. The press wants those types of stories, and we're going to do it. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everybody for the Ecuadorians for Rick Scott. I will do everything I can to fight for Ecuadorians here and in Ecuador, and I'll do the same thing for everybody in Latin America. It's really important to me. Now I want to recognize my friend Elena Garcia.
Thank you, Senator Scott. For me, it's an honor and a privilege to be here supporting Senator Scott because he's done such a great job. He did such a great job as a governor and as a senator. He's always fighting for us. So it's very important that everybody goes out to vote. We have elections. They start in August. We have primaries. I don't know if the senator is going to have a primary. Do you have a primary, Senator? No primary. Okay, so
You have an election too.
I do have an election.
There's a lot of people here that have elections.
I don't think there's other people that have primaries. August 20th, we have the primaries and the commissioners and the mayor's office, and those elections are very important because we need to take Miami-Dade County back. We need to make Miami-Dade County red. So make sure you know who you're voting for, and on August come out to vote, and then in November. In November, we're going to have from the president all the way down, and there's going to be a lot of people that have Republican next to their names. Make sure that you vote for those that say Republican. We have to stop socialism. We have to get our country back. So vote for Rick Scott. I'm honored here to support him. He's been a great leader, and God bless you. God bless you.
Now we're going to hear from another friend, Elena Garcia.
Thank you. Thank you.
This young lady traveled the state representing you.
Yes, and it is an honor to be able to obviously be here today. Elections have consequences. I can't begin to tell you we're seeing it as we stand here today, the consequences of it. But once again, as Senator Scott mentioned, we are so blessed. While the opponent had her time in office and she solidified herself with everything that's anti-American and anti-Israel, he took and takes every single opportunity to make sure that he represents America, Spanish-speaking Americans, the essence of family, God, and freedom. So I can't begin to tell you how important this November is. The choice is very, very clear. Thank you.
Now we're going to hear from Ricardo Rosemena, business owner and president of the Ecuadorian American Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ricardo Rosemena. I'm the president of the Ecuadorian American Chamber of Commerce. Just welcome you, everybody, for this support for Senator Scott. In the name of all the members of the chamber, believe us, we support you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Next, we're going to have hear from.
Good morning, everyone. So, my name is Fabian Basabi. I'm your state representative for District 106, and I'm here to speak to you a little bit about Ecuador. A lot of people don't know this, and you might not have had the privilege of visiting this beautiful country where I happen to be a descendant from. My father is Ecuadorian born, and while I was born in the U.S., I lived many years of my childhood there. And I witnessed firsthand a beautiful country with a beautiful people who are hardworking and honorable be robbed of everything that's decent from them. And they are in the fight of their lives with new leadership right now, who have decided to step up, show up, and vote out the socialist government that has been oppressing them for decades. If they can have that battle there, well, we have our battles here, and if they can hurt us here, imagine what they can do to our friends. I've met the opposition to the senator. She is not just his opposition. She is the opposition, and she aligns herself with the opposition of everything that is civil, that is decent, that is good for the hardworking people of this world. So it's time for us to unite and to vote for the common sense candidates and the common sense party of leaders who have led the way here in Florida, and let that be a guiding force throughout the nation. One small point. This is an interesting statistic. There are less people that vote in this country than actually work for the federal government. We as leaders cannot do it alone. It is time for us to share this responsibility. Get everyone out to the voting polls, and let's change this game once and for all.
Yeah, you know, they elected a new president and president about what they're going through there is unbelievable crime risk, and he put himself at risk by running. And so I think it's important for us to do everything we can to help Ecuador and help what they're trying to do to turn their country around. I mean, you feel so sorry for the people there who have to go through that. What the not the last president, but the president before that did was horrible. Did was a horrible job. Next, he was a horrible. So, Carlos Salando, Ecuadorian community leader.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Quiero comenzar con algo importante. Pienso que nos olvidamos antes de iniciar una oración.
Thank you for coming.
Invocar a Dios para todo lo que estamos haciendo. Me acaban de mandar una oración que me pidieron que la comparta. Ahí va. Amado Dios, cuando nos falten fuerzas, fortalécenos. Cuando tengamos dudas, aumenta nuestra fe. Cuando estemos tristes, consuélanos. Cuando nos equivoquemos, guíanos. Cuando te fallemos, perdónanos. Cuando sentamos soledad, abrázanos. Y cuando te llamemos a ti por una necesidad, escúchanos. Cuando sienta intranquilidad, o problemas por ansiedad. Danos la paz. Y cuando busquemos tu presencia, llénanos con tu Espíritu Santo. Y voy a pedirle a todos, ahora que estamos en unión de oración, por el triunfo del senador Rick Scott, y por todos nuestros representantes locales, estatales y federales, y también incluido Daniel Noboa, presidente de Ecuador.
Ecuadorians for Rick Scott. Esta elección es muy importante, la elección en noviembre es muy importante por oportunidad de todos, personas en nuestro país y en América Latina. La lucha por democracia y libertad es muy importante. Yo trabajo duro por todas las familias aquí en América Latina. Gracias por todos los líderes que están aquí hoy. So, the fight for liberty and freedom is really important to me. I grew up in this great country. My mom told me I could be anything. I want to make sure that's true. But I also want to make sure that's true for people in Latin America. There's a lot of people that have come here, especially to Miami, to get opportunity. It's great that they're here, and I'm glad they're here. But guess what? Many of their families are still in Ecuador, or Puerto Rico, or Cuba, or Venezuela, or Nicaragua, and so they should have the same opportunity if they want to stay there. And I'm going to fight for that every day. So I'll answer any questions.
Your challenger, I've been at events that she's held, and she also speaks against communism, against socialism, and says that you ignore other issues. How do you respond to that?
Durante la tema de mi oponente, no trabajo duro por la lucha por libertad y democracia. Ella es una socialista, es un parte de la izquierda radical en el Congreso. Yo trabajo duro por la lucha por libertad y democracia, por parar la inflación, para cerrar la frontera, la seguridad de la frontera es muy importante, para la arma y Israel, muchas cosas.
¿Cuál es el tema que más le preocupa sobre ella? ¿Por qué es lo que la hace radical? ¿Qué es lo que más le preocupa? What worries you the most about her? What do you think makes her radical?
Es un socialista. Es un amigo de la izquierda radical en el Congreso.
Let's put an example here. What do you think is going to happen at the Venezuelan elections in about 2 months? If the regime tries to stall the election, it seems that it's going to happen. What's going to do? What do you think that's going to be the reaction from the Biden's administration? Are going to be supporting the opposition, or going to be supporting the regime?
Well, Maduro es una amenaza. Lo mismo del régimen cubano. Ecuador es muy importante para Maduro. No tiene elecciones en Venezuela libres y transparentes. Es muy importante que la administración Biden, Joe Biden, tiene una posición contra Maduro, pero Biden no tiene un plan para elecciones libres y transparentes en Venezuela.
Senador, precisamente, senador, me gustaría un mensaje para el pueblo venezolano.
A message for Venezuelan people.
For Venezuelans. You see, mi corazón está con todos el pueblo de Venezuela porque no tiene oportunidades y no tiene comida, oportunidades de trabajos. La elección es muy importante. Es terrible que no tiene elecciones libres y transparentes. Venezuela tiene un dictador asesino terrible. So yo trabajo duro por el pueblo. Yes, sir.
South Press Independent newspaper. I'm worried because the international situation and here national, and all because yesterday Mexico have a new president. It's a woman. It's a Jew. Do you think that there are going to be some change in the border?
Yeah. Well, en inglés o en español. En inglés. Español. Sí, la frontera sigue completamente colapsada, gracias a las becas radicales de Joe Biden. Es importante que cerrar la frontera. Si no depende en el partido al lado de México o de los Estados Unidos, es seguro en el lado de México gracias a los carteles, pero en los Estados Unidos es completamente colapsada. Muchas drogas, criminales, terroristas, muchas personas que quieren el sueño americano, pero es muy importante que viaje en posición legal.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you.